Hi guys, Caroline here. It's currently the late evening hours of this new moon in Taurus on Earth Day. Happy new moon, happy Earth Day. If you aren't able to join or weren't able to join my friend Rose and I's little gathering that's in a few short hours, a couple hours, this is for you, and it's a speaking meditation that's meant to stir the depths and encourage you to move. So rather than sitting still entirely for this practice, I'll invite you to find movement in any way that you can after an initial connection with your breath and your present state of being. So that might mean simply going through some wrist warming up, especially if you've been on a computer all day or inverted all day, or perhaps just dancing to the beat of my voice, whatever backtrack I throw on this. I'll encourage you to move. So take these first few moments and check in with yourself. Find stillness for now, knowing that it is as impermanent as any shape or trickle of movement that will come through your body in the next few minutes. Allow for your breath to simply be. Allow for any urges or present desires or callings to drip away, and know that you are safe and you are held here. There's nowhere else to go, nowhere else to be, nothing else to do. You can purely be as you are, and that is more than enough. Take some mental notes as to how you are at present. As I often say, and as others often say, you are taking the seat of the witness to all that you are, every layer, one seen and unseen in the present tense. You are witnessing, and you can see these layers without judgment or immediate reaction, without attachment. You're simply seeing. Initially, what I'll read to you comes from Baba Ram Dass, a great spiritual leader, coming from the pages of his book, Be Here Now, published around that initial counterculture movement in the 60s. Well, it was published after, but he did this work back then. As I begin to read and then shift into my own words in relation to this new moon, this Earth Day, everything happening in the cosmos and my little realm of the world, begin to move with both my breath, your breath, and my words as your guide. You can move without inhibition. You can move truly as if no one's watching. Take up space. Or take up no space. Become as small as possible, as big as possible. Leap and bound, or drip and slide, whatever you need. Coming from page 14 of Baba's Be Here Now text. If you could stand back far enough and watch the whole process, you would see you are a totally determined being. The very moment you will wake up is totally determined. How long you will sleep is totally determined. What you will hear of what I say is totally determined. There are no accidents in this business at all. Accidents are just from where you are looking. To the ego, it looks like it's miracles and accidents. No miracles, no accidents. It's just your vantage point that you're sort of stuck in. And in that stuckness, my words now, we can bring in a yama, a sort of guideline for how we walk through these days of human beingness. This yama, a parigraha, which is non-grasping, it relates to non-attachment for sure. And with this new moon, in this season of Taurus, in this season of spring into summer, there's a lot of grabbing for earthly, materialized things, which makes sense. We're coming out of wintry depths, which involve a lot of layers, and now shedding those layers for some can be a bit uncomfortable, so we can grasp onto them, we can grasp onto habits and patterns that were brought up in recent months, weeks, days, and we can cling to them without even realizing how clinging is removing us from the gift of the present. When we practice aparigraha, non-grasping, non-clinging, the act of non-reaction and the act of non-acting, sort of paradox, we are left with the present moment, the present tense, and nothing else. I'll ask you as you move now to witness your space, your vessel, your physicality, and allow that witnessing to be the main ingredient for this recipe of cosmic channeling that we're able to tap into on moons and cosmic times as poignant as this one. Allow your physicality and your detachment from it, your non-expectation of it, to guide you into the present. Let every inch of movement come into physicality to your surprise. Release habitual movements that no longer serve. If you're in a specific shape and feel called to go one way, notice if it's a habitual call to comfort, and see, lean in, explore if that will lead to growth. If there's resistance to a call, an urge, notice if that resistance comes from fear, or if it comes from a genuine intelligence of the body to not move in that way, to respect a physical boundary. If you can move through and sift through the resistance, where will you go? The only way to find out is if you go there and you witness it all on your own. Otherwise, you're grasping onto potentials and illusions projected by past experiences of the mind and body. This new moon in Taurus is earthly and a bit stubborn. So if you're feeling more resistance as you move your body today in whatever way, breathe through that. Breathe through it, breathe in it, and be present as I let you now move without my voice for a few moments here. Allow your movements the next few to create and sketch and etch your present reality in the initial moments of the fresh 28-day cycle we begin now, with grace and spirit, Goddess, as your guide. As you move, remember the Gaian song your body knows. As Ram Dass said, it has been predefined. We need only remember and return and explore without expectation, without grasping. Explore the remembrance of that dance. Every step, every 8 count, and beyond. Remember the hymns in their ancient rhythm, and let them shine through you, for you are a divine channel of spirit. Move slowly, slowly, slowly now. We'll begin to wind down. Come back into some semblance of stillness and soften as needed so that you might Find a still meditation from your present space, in your present space, and remain here for as long as you'd like. I'll leave you with a couple more words from Baba Ram Dass. I'm looking through the pages now so I can find those for you. Page 108. You're standing on a bridge, watching yourself go by. Wow, look at that. It's all mirrors and reflections. Mirrors and reflections. You're standing on a bridge, watching yourself go by. Wow, look at that. Blessed new moon, blessed Earth Day. Sending love to each and every one of you. Blessed be.